Sangara, kodwa manje sekuyithuba leBiafra. I call Africa, rise up now. Our land breaks the chains of slavery. Biafra is crying, tears are flowing. We thank Mandela, we thank Sangara, but now it is Biafra's turn. Sulu, tina siyamenzukula, siyakwazi ukuthandaza. We know how to fight, we know how to pray. Biafra must breathe. Biafra must live. Biafra, Biafra, Vuga Africa, Vuga. Biafra, Biafra, Israel tuliyopila, siyatela umhlaba wonke, asishangane ngeBiafra. Biafra, Biafra, rise Africa, rise. Biafra, Biafra, our nation will heal. We make the whole world. Let us unite for Biafra. Nigeria yehluleka abantwana bafana endlala amaphoyisa bulala kodwa alifi. Siyabonga iZulu, siyabonga iYoruba iHausa. Biafra ifuna ukuba isithila. Police kill, but truth never dies. Thank the Zulu, thank Yoruba, thank Hausa. But Biafra refuses to be a slave. Umani ozo lalela, umani ozo Caesar, umani ozo kuluma, ikiliso. Speak true. Siakona iwan, siatela yao, siatela Brazil, France, China, yes. Izanga zenu mazibe pezulu, nihambisane neBiafra, nihambisane nenkululeko. We plead with the UN, we plead with the AU, we plead with Brazil, France, China, the US. Raise your hands high. Walk with Biafra. Walk with freedom. Zulu Afra, Biafra, Israel Julia Pila. Biafra, Biafra, our nation will be loved. Vuga Africa, Vuga. Rise, Africa, rise. Mercy, let us march together. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow Biafrans all over the world. You are welcome to today's program, 15th of November 2025. Wonderful Biafrans, I greet all of you. Join me today for a brief and concise program on Biafra issue We all know, my people, that as humans, we all have things that made us unique, and that is what we believe in, and the strength in your belief. We know that Biafrans were once in a country called Nigeria, but now we have decided to take our leave and our exit. We are predominantly Christians, some are Judaism that worship in accordance with Jewish rule of religion. Some are traditionalists. But your strength in whatever you believe in lies in your faith. We are Christians and we are being massacred. No one is saying a word. But thank God to our APM, the acting Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile, he has done so much, especially in his alliance with America. And that led to the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. My people, today, the 15th of November 2025, I received a video of the terrorist groups in Nigeria operating in my town in Anambra State, between Enugu and Anambra, killing people, abducting people, kidnapping them. So we Christians, we still face this extinction by the terrorist groups in Nigeria, a country where Tinubu and Shetima are the president and vice, and they are not bringing terrorism to an end. We are still pleading to America to come to the aid of my people. Please, America and Europe, come and save our souls. So, Biafrans, I greet all of you. Ndị be anyị nọ n'ụlọ, ekenekwa m unu. Ndewo n'ụtụtụ ọma. Ọ ga-adịlị nwoke mma, dịlị nwaanyị mma. Ndị be anyị ife na-eme kịta, ọ kalịla akali, mana anyị ga-ejisie ike. Ana m achọ ịkọwala unu na Biafra abịago abịa. Ife dị ịbụa, ọgwụgo agwụ. Biko nụ ndị be anyị, tata bụ the day anyị na-eme fundraising. So ka unu jisi ike wee bịa. Join our fundraising this afternoon, this evening, 7 p.m. Biafra time. So ndị be anyị gbakọnọta no join anụ na this very program ka anyị gbapịa ọsọ.
Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal definition. When the Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. What horrible numbers. Something has to be done. I am asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and to report back to me. And I mean, like, immediately. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. It's not only Nigeria, it's all over. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. This is not going to happen. The killing of Christians is not going to happen. Christianity is facing an existential.
Yes, my people, we thank Donald Trump for acting promptly. Ndị be anyị, achọrọ m ịkọwala unu ife prezidenti ndị Amerịka na-ekwu. Ụtụtụ ọma na ekenekwa m unu ọzọ. Ndị be anyị, unu ma na ife na-eme onye ọbụla na-atụlie, ọ bụrụ ndị ọcha fasị na ị ga na-ewe your option. Ị na-ewe option if there is any. If there is none, you devise one. Ya, ọ bụrụ na ife na-eme etu o si eme kịta, ife onye ọbụla ga na-atụle bụ enwere ụzọ anyị ga-esi wee mee ka anyị pụta na nsogbu anyị nọ. Number one bụ donation. Donation n'onu be anyị n'asụsụ be anyị bụ ịtụ ụtụ. Taa bụ Satọde, bụ mbọsị anyị na-atụ ụtụ a ga-eji wee zọpụta anyị n'ife anyị na-eme. Ndị be anyị, ụtụtụ taa, ndị na-eje Ọnịcha from Enugu na ndị si Enugu eje Ọnịcha lute nnọọ n'etiti ụzọ ewee kwụsịfa. Ọ bụrụ ndị Fulani mount check blockade of the road wee na-agbagbu ụmụ be anyị, fa niile yi black. Aga m try ka mmalụ ma m ga-etinye the video here ka unu watch ya. Ụmụaka be anyị, ikekwe ụfọdụ ndị na-watch this program send elum that video n'ụtụtụ a. Fa na-agbagbu ụmụaka be anyị. Enugu, between Enugu and Onitsha, ka i wee fụ na Hausa batago Ọka. Ọnya melu ndị Biafra nọ n'exile ji wee je mitie president a na ndị niile ya na fani ya na-alụ ọlụ, like ndị politicians bụ government lawmakers, like nke a na-akpọ Ted Cruz. All the man bụ onye pass that bill wee si ndị otu fanekwa anya ife na-eme na Nigeria, maka na fa niile nwere embassy na Nigeria. So ndị be anyị, unu n'anya below this studio, unu ga-afụ mgbịrịmgba unu ga-akpọ m ma ọ bụrụ ndị nọ n'ụlọ. Nke ọzọ bụ webụsaịtị anyị ebe unu ga-eje wee donate ewite eje mma. Anyị need donation. Ife a nwoke a na-ekwu kịta okwu o kwuru, ife nji mee ka okwu onye bụ okwu bụ maka na o mention two important things. Ofu bụ na a na-egbu ndị Christians na Nigeria, and anyị nwa bụ ya bụ ndị Christian. Nke ọzọ o kwuru dị very important bụ that na e designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Nya, country nwelu ife na-akpagbu ndị mmadụ na-eme n'ime, ife na-enye uche mmadụ ilulo, ife na-enye gị nsogbu na mkpụrụ obi bụ ife bụ your concern, country of particular concern. And ndị be anyị, ife na-eso ụdị designation a bụ sanction. And o nwego nwoke onye Europe bụ onye isi ndị NATO a na-akpọ Gunter Fleniger. This man ekwugo na ya ga-eje na parliament fa, in fact na ya ejego na their parliament wee na-agwafa na a ga-recognize Biafra maka na Nigeria bụzi no-go area, and na fa ga-withdraw their ties with Nigeria iji nyelu faji enyelu Nigeria aka, ma ties trades ịzụ afịa, ma tie diplomatic, political and diplomatic ties. Na fa na ya ga-advocate and ọ na-eme ya na our APM ekwugo okwu several times. So ndị be anyị, ife na-akpọrọ unu n'ụtụtụ a bụ bịanụ ka anyị donate na Hausa batago Ọka. This morning kafanochi between Enugu and the na-eji ife a, ndị amị na-ama, polisi na-ama, fama pụta maka ọfịa kafa ga-esi. Ọ bụrụ that desert dịka isi Enugu wee na-eje Nsụka, o nwere ọfịa niile juru ebe anwa. Ndị a na-ebi n'ụlọ, ọ n'ime ọfịa kafa na-ebi. So n'ife nji wee kpọọ vidio a bụ ka unu malụ wee lota ife niile na trend kịta na Amerịka na-abịa Naijiria, na Amerịka na-abịa. Ọ anyịnwa mminu bụ Biafra Republic Government in Exile, ndị bi n'obodo oyibo. And ife a na-eme ụmụnne anyị nọ n'ụlọ, ọ na-ewute anyị na mmụọ. Ya ka iji wee sị, ma ndị bi n'ụlọ, ma ndị bi n'ama, ndị nwere ego, anyị ma na onwe ndị enwere ego fa ga-ejidili nri, maka na ọrụ adịrọ na ya bụ obodo. Ọ bụrụ ụdị ndị a ka anyị na-akpọku all those business men and women nọ na Nigeria bụ ndị Biafra, ndị ji ego kafa bịa donate. That's the only way for now anyị ga-eji wee pụta na mkpagbu a ndị Nigeria na-akpagbu Biafrans, na-akpagbu other regions. Ndị ọbụla na-eti mkpu in their own way. Mkpu nke anyị nwa bụ ndị Biafra na-eti bụ, anyị anụgo ọgụ na 1967 wee luo 1970 with ndị ọcha, ndị ọcha bịa nyelufe aka. Britain nyelufe aka, Russia nyelufe aka, Egypt so wee nụọ ọnya bụ ọgụ. Anyị fesiri agha ndị ọcha n'aka ndị Nigeria, mana kịta that pillar nọfa n'azụ, Chukwu akụtugie. Onye na-achị obodo a mbi nọ onwe vidio mee wee na-asị nwoke a, kedu ife iji erebuke na ya welu ndị Muslim na-etinye na position na gị nwa na inwego onye minista na New York bụ onye Muslim, kedụkwa n'ife ị ga-eme? Iwee malụ na nsogbu na agha dị na Katanga, na the two nations kịta because of ndị Biafra. Chukwu na-etinye ọgbaghara na the whole world. But for Amaro, Nigeria government release our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa, our prime minister. Release them, or else the calamity that will befall you Nigerians, you will not be able to speak about it. You will not. So ụmụ Biafra, onye ọbụla nọ ebe ọ nọ, ya bịa nso. Anyị nwere akụkọ na-eso akụkọ. Our information minister, all the very indomitable, very, very articulate, very, very versatile in his informative programs. So o nwere nke m ga-egosi unu kịta ka unu wee nụ ife gbasatalụ Biafra Republic Government in Exile and ndị niile na-agba anyị mgbe okpuru. Gekwanụ ntị.
I've watched a series of videos and I've seen where many paid disgruntled agents who could not deliver the mandate given to them are crying about the good works and the achievement of BRJ under the APM Okechukwu Nkere. Though it is quite disappointing to see many people cry, but the cry has just started. BBC of UK has highlighted the role and the good work that Biafra Republic Government in Exile played in the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, which Donald Trump just did. They quoted testimonies and petitions that were submitted by BRGI, heavily led by Okechukwu Nkere. Yahoo News have also quoted SEM and explained the role of BRGI. Euronews and France 24 have also done so. Which other news? Washington Post have also done same. And then African Intelligence Network have also done same. Even the Nigerian presidency and Nigerian government have also done same. They highlighted the plight of BRGI. They also made it clear that they have come to understand that Biafrans have factional and many groups that also carry the flag of Biafra. In fact, the largest flags of Biafra, they carry it, which you can see them all over social media. They didn't identify one brutal government of the indigenous people of Biafra, which is the BRGI, under the able leadership of Okechukwu Nkere now, while our Prime Minister was imprisoned. And I want some people to understand something, that our Prime Minister was imprisoned or our Supreme Leader was imprisoned does not mean we are going to fold our arms and get stuck. No, we have to move on, because they have all sacrificed their own quota. What they taught us is what we should be putting into.
Yes, Biafrans, he has just hit the nail at the head. Ọ sị na ọ bụrụ na ndị leaders anyị na-ejife eji, na anyị amefiokọba aka anyị etu a wee na-eche na anyị ama agbachi nkịtị. Ndị be anyị, ọ bụrụ onye kwuo eziokwu, o nwere ife ga-eme gị ma ikwu eziokwu. Kama ikwu eziokwu, Chineke ga-anabata okwu ikwu. And o nwere onye ga-agbagha. Chineke meghelu mmadụ ụzọ, o nwere anybody ga-emechi nwe ya. And ụzọ niile Chukwu mechiri, o nwere ni human being ga-atry ya. Maka na Chukwu okike abịama, ọnya bụ isi bụlụ etiti bụlụ ọdụdụ, bụlụ aka nni bụlụ aka ekpe. So o nwere ebe anybody ji azụ eje, ma Chukwu kwuo okwu, iwu bụ na ife Chukwu kwuru ga-eme. Ndewo ikuku nwanne m. Good morning. Thank you for joining. So our information minister here nọ na this very program na-akọwa na ọ bụrụ na eji our leaders anyị anabajelara ụla. No, my people. And the only way, thank you so much, I appreciate you. So Biafrans, unu ga-aghọta na ọ bụrụ na ije ebe ndị Yoruba ịgụ anị ka i wee lụọ your shop, fagasị gị nọ 30 million, ụfọdụ 50 million, ụfọdụ 100. Ije count all that money wee chinyefa. Ịlụsi anya bụ ụlọ wee gbakọnye gị ji wee go nya bani, ụlọ a na-elu 500 million or more if proper calculation is taken. Ịlụsi adata ụlọ, febulukwa katapila wee bịa kutusie unu anwa, which means na gị na ụmụ gị enwerozi ebe unu ga-ebi. Even ndị nọ na street akalụzia unu mma. Ngwongwo unu niile dị n'ime unu akutusie ya. Ibidokwa n'isi. Ọ dịka oge anyị nata agha Biafra enyesia 20 pounds. Ibidokwa n'isi. Ije go ngwa afịa. itinye na shop fa bịa banwa mụọ onye ọkụ. Ndị be anyị, why na unu ama mmụta ife? Why na unu ama mmụta ife from ife na-eme unu? Mbọsị niile anya na-ayọ come and donate, come and donate. That is to say na ọ bụrụ na Biafra bịa echi, anyị agaghị unu ayọ ka unu bịa bụrụ soro anyị bịa bụrụ Biafra. Unu nwa ga-ebu ụzọ wee bịa zọba anyị ebe unu ga-alụ ụlọ, ebe ị ga-alụ mansion, ebe ị ga-alụ shop, ebe ị ga-eme biznes. So anyị na-agwa unu kịta na this website dị ebe a, www.biafrarepublicgovernment.org. Ama m na o nwere oge the last set of breakaways a na-akpọ Azubike je wee bring ya down our donation link. But kita, our prime minister, our acting prime minister, Mazi Ogekere, he leaves no stone unturned. It take his time, but no fix give back. You can at this website, you click on it. Just paste it on your browser. Click on it. If it is eager for donate, that donate, you click on it. If for all the steps, 10,000, 10 AJ, 5 AJ, 20 AJ, 30 AJ, 40. Nke ọbụla ị nwere ike idonate. Lotekwanụ na Biafra bịa na before anybody ga-abịa mee any claim, ị ga-eweta your receipt iji gosi na iso. So our minister here, my brother, si na ọ bụ God sent. Obviously, mgbagha dịrị, ọ bụ God sent. Ife ọ na-eme na-egosi, and ife ọ na-ekwu bụ ife anyị nwa bụ ndị Biafra Republic Government in Exile na-eme. So let us continue to listen to him.
Play now, and what will make them very happy and proud will be our resilience and our ability to reason, to put our brains in gear, and to do things that will continue to destroy the existence of one Nigeria, so that they will be able to come out. We gathered in Washington, D.C. Capitol, the White House of America, and we gave a congressional testimony telling American government about the genocide that is happening in Nigeria, which is targeting at the Christians. And when I say Christians, Biafran people are predominantly Christians. When you hear that Biafran people have 80 million or over 80 million total numbers of population, these over 80 millions are what? Christians. From that 80 million, they are all Christians. If you have to come and look at the traditional of the Jewish, that could be maybe just 2%. So approximately that 80 million numbers of Biafrans are Christians. So these Christians have become the endangered species. And if you hear that the Christian persecution in Nigeria has come to be, it is one of the tools that needs to be used to disintegrate Nigeria so that every emerging nations can be free. Biafran people took this up and then played key roles to make sure it came to be. Whether you like the leadership of BRGIA now or not, we can't help you. But the results are paying off. But I want to challenge you and ask you to tell me something. The BRGIE leadership under Okenkere, they are giving you results, and you are seeing results. Between July, August, September, and October, and this November that we are, you have seen different forms of result that is speaking out in Washington, D.C. a deal was submitted to the US government for political support. And then a congressional testimony was submitted to the US government. It is available on the US government website. All these things that I'm saying, they are there. It is not IEA say or they say. Then a congressional briefing was carried out inside the US Capitol. In that briefing, a live testimony were given. And everything we talked about there was the Christian genocide, the recognition of Biafra, the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the release of our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, and the sanctions on Nigeria and also to Finland.
Yes, my people, my comrade, Wisdom, I welcome you and I appreciate all of you who are here making your contribution. Biafrans, what our powerful information minister is here listing down briefly is the achievement of Breji so far. Those breakaways, and especially the last group of breakaways, their contention was that our APM is spending money with the lobbyists instead of the men on ground, or our BLA, and generally BDF, Biafra Defense Forces. Biafrans, you all saw when both parties, the breakaways, both Ngozi, Vam, and the Imam Dabo group, Vam was telling Elias, come close, you will not succeed. You will not succeed. And I was wondering, what is going on? I wondered what was going on in the mind of these breakaways. They are all well educated according to their titles. Do they not understand the meaning of engaging the services of a lobbyist? Or do they think that in this Biafra struggle, we do not need lobbyists? The other day in a newspaper, that newspaper, Parallel Facts, was reporting about Breji dominating the presence, the presence of Nigeria in the US, that Nigeria has no lobbyist, they have no ambassador in America. You know why? Because they misplaced their priority. Because they sponsored Kamala Harris election, and Kamala Harris lost the election. That is why I believed that God is with us, that President Trump's coming is all designed by God. Now, that lobbyist, Ngozi called them criminals. The same lobbyist Ngozi called lobbyist, Vam told them, come close, that you will not succeed. You will not succeed. How then do these people want to liberate Biafra? The only liberation that Biafra needs is their recognition. Once we are recognized as a nation, no other nation will ever try to encroach in our territorial boundaries. Because if you do, it's not only law that will bring you down. We Biafrans will all rise and put them down where they belong. We need to be recognized. Fair enough, we need also our soldiers, because you have to go freedom fighting in all angles. You have to take care. That's why we call on people all the time, especially genuine Biafrans, to come and donate. Whether you are genuine or not, come and donate. We need that donation. Even countries that are a nation already, like people of Ukraine, their president Zelensky, he still goes round the whole world begging for money, begging for sponsorship. The whole Europe are working with him because he has gone round to invite them, to beg them, come and sponsor us. Finance is the life wire of every nation. And a movement like that of Biafra, this is what it is. The same funding. That's why we are always calling out for people to come and fund our liberation. Our liberation is very capital intensive. My brother questionnaire, Ndewo, thank you so much. I do appreciate your presence. You are one of the powerful media outlets, and it is all thanks to God. Biafrans are blessed. So, my people, back to what I was saying. Ndị nọ n'ụlọ, nkwụsị anya na bekee, m ga-asụrụ ya unu, n'onu unu ga-eji wee ghọta. That this Biafra movement is such that the intensity requires funding. Any country in the world. I remember when China loaned some money during the time of, well, let me not go there. Many countries, every country needs funding. And we have our own in exile. And we need funding. We need it. Ukraine is still going around asking and begging for money to the extent that they went to Nigeria. The hungry, wretched, blood-sucking Nigeria. He went there to beg them for money. He went to America to beg for money. And you saw how the president rebuked him. It's there on the YouTube. Just search for it and it will appear. So, Biafrans, today, 15th of November 2025, 7 p.m. Biafra time, is the donation time. Even if it is 1 AJ, bring it. If we have 99 AJ and you bring your 1 AJ, it will become 100. Save lives. Today, somebody sent me from Homeland a video, which I will try to see if I can play it here, where Ndieke terrorists, no, between Enugu and Onitsha, buying our people. So we need funding. Let nobody play any lip service about this funding. Because when Biafra comes, for you to be welcomed, you must be holding your receipt like this. So ndị be anyị iji kọwala unu ma ndị ada anụ bekee, mana ama m na ndị be anyị na-agụ akwụkwọ, mana ka m sụkwa ya maka ndị agadi na ndị ejere akwụkwọ chacha ka unu wee ghọta ife m na-ekwu. Our information minister here na-ekwu maka achievement Biafra Republic government in exile. Mgbe na-akọwala unu na o nwere nke a na-akpọ Madam Vam Vam Vam, or say Elias, come close, you will not succeed. Ngozi si na ya bụ doctor, which means PhD, the highest level of education. Ọ ghọtara ife ulu lobbyist iba. Nigeria government, they lost out, according to this newspaper, Parallel Facts. Or si na Biafra Republic government in exile, na fa nwelu lobbyist, J lobby ndị America to come and designate Nigeria, that Nigerians are wasting time. So, ogosi na ngozi na Vam 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 amaro, no lobbyist ga-ejela anyị ije a ga-eji wee recognize anyị. Anyị nwere our own nation now. Our territorial boundaries, nobody can encroach in it. Ndị be anyị ife a na-akọwala unu maka na ụfọdụ ada aghọta ife bụ na anyị need lobbyist, and the lobbyist anwa o ego. Ndị be anyị si na nni tọrọ ụtọ bụ ego ogbulie. Ọ bụ na unu chọọ ka Biafra bịa, unu elokwana nọ ndị a nọ n'ụlọ na-echedobe anyị n'ọlụfa bụ iwetele unu Biafra. Ife ga-ewetele unu Biafra bụ recognition, and onye na-edu anyị ya bụ ije a na-akwụ ya ụgwọ. Ọ ka unu wee na-atụ ego, ka unu wee na-atụ ego. Ngwa kịta o nwere any newspaper na-ebu afa Ngozi, o nwere nke na-ebu afa CRC. Ọ ka unu wee mata na Breji bụ ebe a nọ. Unu nwa bụ ndị nọ n'ụlọ, mmadụ dịka Ali na Onyema nke nwe peace, o nyelu ndị Fulani 2 billion. Ọ bụ na o wetara that 2 billion wee nye ndị Biafra, Biafra ga-abịa. And anyị ma na so many of you nwelu that 2 billion to donate. Unu nwe that 2 billion to donate to Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Tata bụ Saturday 7 p.m. Mana unu ade donate. Lotekwenu na freedom fight, or that bụ forever. It is never forever. So my people, we have made great number of achievements. O nwekwalu ndị nọ n'ụlọ na-edonate. Anyị na-asịkwa unu daalụnụ, ndewonu. Mana the donation ọka kwụsịrị. Ọ bụrụ na donation a abịago na njedebe, Biafra Republic Government in Exile ga-eme ka unu malụ. Fa ga-eme ka unu malụ. Yes, my people. Fa ga-eme ka unu malụ. Kedu uru ọ ga-abalị unu? Like ndị ejide n'ụtụtụ a, ndị ejide this morning. I am forced to go and play that video for you. Ọ bụrụ na asị ụmụnne ndị a ejide, ndị a eme kidnap n'ụtụtụ a, fa weta ego ka a ghara igbu nwanne fa ga-agbakiri anyị. Ụfọdụ bụ ịgbakirisi anyị, ifu na that they will still buy the person. Fa ga-analụ unu ego, nalụ unu nwanne unu. Mana ọ bụ unu na-edonate ego, anyị enwe enough force ka echedo everywhere. Una fuge na Fulani they give up. They don't give up. So why will you give up? Egosi munu video Onyendu yesterday. Onyendu himself is not giving up. You understand? We are not giving up. Muno nwe maybe in England. But ka nkọwala unu n'oge ndị England na-anụ ọgụ nke fa, na the Queen so wee na-eme freedom fight ndị befa. Ga search anya ị ga-afụ. You understand? So my people, onye ọbụla gbaa mbọ donate towards this wonderful journey anyị nwa nọ n'ime. Donate ka anyị na-egekwa our information minister
for imprisoning our leaders. And then we ask US to invoke the Magnitsky Act, the Accountability Act, which will bring Nigeria to book, which will knock them all off since they have masterminded and supervised the genocide on Christians. These are just few that we have made public. And from some other media house publications that have published about what Biafra did, they have gone to dig out some other things which we did not bring to the public. I'm asking you now, what has Honorable Fulani Accountability Group done for Biafran people since after the convention. I can count it for you so that you see whether they are what we need. Mind you, the Biafra Defense Forces are under and they are loyal to BRGIA under Okenkere. They have nothing to do with Orabu Fulani Ngozi. They have nothing to do with Emma Accountability Group and Shoma. But let me ask you, what has Ngozi achieved since after convention for you?
Yes.
She said she supply all of you survivor whistle to blow. She said you should blow the whistle. When you blow the whistle, beep, beep. The Boko Haram terrorists that come to kill you, that come to commit Christian genocide, they will disappear. Has the whistle helped you? She went ahead to do what? To recruit Ebubagu as their commanders. He paid so much money to Ebubagu caterpillars. Solomon Kwacha was a Secretary of Defense. Today she removed him and then put Caterpillar, Ebubagu commander. Onyami was also there. Today she removed him and put another Ebubagu commander. Any of them that opened their mouth to say anything, Ngozi will slap them and flog them out. Ngozi pronounced to all of you that the IOU loan which BRGIA launched when Prime Minister was here, that it is now a scam, that you should not go and donate again.
Yes. The story now, Bona, Ngozi achusigo almost all the who name me oppose. Maka na ụfọdụ fa bụ ndị eriri ndị Ngozi riri. Fa ghọtara na nwaanyị anwa n'ọnya bụ that scam a na-ekwu okwu ya. Na afọ real name ye bụ scammer. Onye aṅụrụma ka ọ bụ. Wee na-agba anyị mgbe okpuru ya na ndị governors na-alụ ọlụ. Elo Ede Uchenna, ndewo. Ndewo nwanne m. Ndị be anyị onye ọbụla bịa donate na anyị nidili ịrapụ Nigeria. Aga m achọkwa this video ego esendelu m n'ụtụtụ a ebe ndị a na-eme operate between Enugu na Anambra. Unafuge these people nọkwa na be anyị maka na Gumi si na fa nọ everywhere. Anyị na-akpọ unu bịa donate. Ụfọdụ abịa ebe a ịkọ yawu. Mana the truth bụ na anyị need this donation. O nwere any other person ga-emeli ya unu. The only person nwere ike imelu gị ya bụ yourself. Donation. We need donation, my people. We need it. We need donation. Now, let me just look for that very video. Kamalu manga akwea. Kunu wee ghọta ife na-eme. Because ọ bụ na unu fụ ife na-eme na be anyị. Unu eweli ya malụ. Yes. Unu eweli ya malụ that na agwọ dị n'akịlịka. Let me look for that video. Ana m ayọ unu biko na ụmụnne m na ụmụnna m. Ka anyị bịa nụ donate. Bịanụ ka anyị donate. Ana m achọ that video. I'm looking for it. Ka unu wee fụ ife na-eme. You know? Because ndị be anyị na fana anọ nwayọ too much for my liking. Ana si unu bịanụ. Let me see.
Anọ m kịta na Nkwọ Ezeagụ. If you look around, you will see so many people scampering for their lives, for their dear lives. Anom na nkweza ago kita. Ife na-eme kita bụ na ndị Fulani men, according to ka ndị fụrụ n'anya, mana ebe a ka anyị nọ kita. Na ndị Fulani men blọkụrụ ụzọ. Anọ m kita na nkweza ago by express. Enwego ndị egbe tụta. Ị na-anya na mgboga kita onye ọ na-eme mma garunwu nso. Enwere m ike iru nso. Ị na-anụ kita na agbara ha egbe. Ị na-anụ kita na agba ndị ahụ egbe. Ihe akịta bụ na nkweze agụ ka nọ. Na nkweze agụ ka anyị nọ kịta. Asụ na ndị Fulani men blọkụrụ ụzọ. Ndị Fulani men kịta blọkụrụ express by nkweze agụ gbadaba Enugu. Ị na-ahụta na ebe a ka anyị nọ. Na ma lenu ndị na-abịa abịa ma ndị na-ana onye ọrụ na paakị sa paakị. Akwa witness ya. Akwụya tọ nna akwa ịfụrụ ya na-eme so na-esi ndị mmadụ ka ha nọ ebe anyị nọ kịta bụ nkweze agụ ọmụ na rịpọtụ live na nke ahụ MC Fresh reporting live na-enubo ọkwa ọrụ ka m bịa na-eze agụ alụsigokwa m ọrụ ka m naba Ọnịcha Ado pụta na express paaka moto asịkwa na ndị Fulani o even some men down now. Ọkwa ihe mwute ọkwa Naijiria ya ekwuru okwu ya asị ka ndị US bịa ụfọdụ ajụ na ha bịa na anyị na-anya na mgbogo ka nzu umo ya nwe obere ị na-anya na mgbogo onwe ha yiche efe black ha yi efe black na fonu m ama m nọrụ n'ofu ebe dị na-anya kịta na mgbogo dị na-anya na mgbogo a onwe ndị iche efe black n'ime onwego ndị agbagburu ebe anyị fụrụ kịta na nwe ndị ebuoro eburu biko ị na-enweta life a na-aga ị na-asị ya ịnweta life a si abịa onwe onye nke gị bịa
na anụgo ife okwu ọ sị na onwego ndị agbagburu nwelu ndị ebulu kedu ife fa ji ebu ndị mmadụ ka fa wee nata ransom anyị nwaji ọnụ nkịtị na-ayọ come and donate mana nke fa bụ force with ndụ mmadụ ka fa ji ayọ ego nke fa anyị nwa na-ayọ nke anyị just for the sake of humanity, for the sake of brotherhood. No ụmụnne anyị, look at them. Ụmụnne anyị ndị nke si Enugu jekọ Ọnịcha na ndị nke si Ọnịcha na-abịa Enugu. Look at them next press. Nefa. This morning, enwetam this video around 8 o'clock, which should be Nigerian 9 o'clock. Today, Obrokwa, na onye nke akechisila anya, all one of them. Faputa fasia, they will lie to the world that is farmer header clash. This killing started since 1967. What header clash? Nigeria will always lie. So ụmụnne m na ụmụnna m unu fụ ụdị ife dị etu a, ọ meme gị ka i wee tụọ ego ka obi ebele mee gị. Because the moment anyị nwa bụ a nation, recognize I need only 5 nations according to Montevideo Convention criteria and the UN criteria. I went around 5 nations. That's why I need more money for more lobbies to keep doing the work, to keep doing the needful. Anya menwetifa with akanketi. Obu na mmadu na-eli digi like our APM now. Kedu ife chọka ome? Ọ ga-agbala aka nkịtị na-eli digi. Ọ bụlụgodu that no bi na America wee na-eje to Washington DC from ebe obi. Then ọ ga-eji ụkwụ je. Ọ ga-eji moto wee je. And you people know that nife na propel move a car bu fuel on a fuel onwe fuel well na zo mba, he will have to go and buy with what? Ejema. So we need money. I don't know how far I can go down defining the need, what our need is. I don't know what definition. Amaram ka m ga-esi kọwali ya unu ka unu wee ghọta na anyị nidile ego na ụmụnne anyị. Just look at them.
Enugu enwe onye nke gị bịara Enugu gbara express na-anata zibe ozi kịta, zibe ozi gwaba onye a na amarụ ka a si eje Hilos aka pakịrị ebe ahụ, onwekwa Hilos white a pakịrị n'isi ebe a. Ịkrọs Hilos a enwere ndị yi black blọkụrụ ụzọ na mgbago ebe a, ịghọtago. So I go do on my own, Adam self, I am very very much safe here. Mana ya ije eme video abụ ka izie ndị mmadụ na akwa na anị na ndị aka nọkwa ebe a. Ana m afụgodo ha from here ebe a m nọ now. Happening live. Anọ m kịta na Nkwọ Ezeagụ.
My people, you have all seen it. Una fugie. Adama like ibi ebe a na-agwa unu ife n'ọnụ nkịtị. Ana m like, that's why I'm always searching. Mfuru ana any video ga-enye aka wee kọwala unu etu ife si wee kwụrụ kịta. Ana m emie without wasting time. Because ọ bụrụ nsị na eme volunteer work, na-eme work enwere isi, ma ọ na-eme ife ama akọwalụ mmadụ ife na-ekwu. Unu afụghị kịta. This morning bụ Saturday 15th. Ndị si kafa gbaluje Enugu, ndị si kafa gbaluje Ọnịcha apụta n'ụzọ. Ụfọdụ ọ sị na agbatugo, ụfọdụ fakpụrụ ụsọ. And the fan aga in chains. Ndị nke ga-anọchi ụzọ, ndị nke ga na-akpụ ndị fajido wee na-aba n'ime ọfịa. Na ndị ajọchia ga-agbagbude. We want all these things to come to an end. Ọ bụrụ everything bụ amaka m ife. Oge ụfọdụ onye nzuzu na-aba uru na the society. Ọ bụ na ị nwere clown kịta na iwe na-ewe gị, clown wee na-perform n'iru gị. Ịmụba amụ, ịma ama oge iji wee mụba amụ. So na every human being nwere their own values. Anyị niile nwere ulu anyị ba. We are working tirelessly hard to make sure na a na-egbuzi ndị be anyị and na anyị nwa dị recognized. And o nwere ife ọzọ anyị ga-eji wee mie without ejemma. Etu a ndị Fulani si alụ ọlụ in chains ka anyị nwa sikwa alụ in chains. Anyị nwa si alụ in chains. I am only here as a servant of Biafra to tell you people, as ụmụnne m, donate enu, ndị nọ n'ụlọ donate enu. Unu bụ ndị na-azụ afịa na arịa, unu ji ego, unu bụ millionaires. After all, kedu afịa ale na onye manye 2 billion to ndị Fulani? Obi n'obodo oyibo, obi na azụ. Ndị niile a na-atụ 10 to 20 containers. Ọ bụrụ anyị nwa na-enyefe ego. All millions of dollars. And adazụ naira na China. Adazụ ya na UK. Adazụ ya na America. Adazụ ya na Brazil. Ebe fa na-eje ebu ngwa afịa. So, ịchọ ije China, ị ga-change to dollar. Why don't you donate to us? Donate. We need it. So while I am telling you this, listen to my information minister.
I should not support again. So what she's done is to sabotage, right? But not to create anything and bring anything to the table. Because he was posting out your names and accounts and phone numbers of Biafrans in the homeland. Account numbers, and they say go and donate money and put that this is the account number that you're using in the homeland to support Biafra. Nigerian government trolled the people that had that account number and then kidnapped them, locked them up. Today we don't know whether they have killed those people. Because he still came and wrote on the social media and said Ndokai Bele is one of the people that Nigerian government picked up because she posted his account number online. Up to today, none of you have asked Ngozi, where is Ndokai Bele? Has he been killed? Did you go for him or not? You will not see. What has Ngozi given to you again? She says she's hiring a plane to pack all of you to Nigeria, not even to Biafra this year. Has she taken all of you to Nigeria? Okay, let me go down to achievement of Emma and Choma and their group. Those ones, the achievement is to block Biafra government account, the website for over 3 months so that you don't make donations. And they say they want to take control. The next thing, we refuse them. They went and bring Biafra government bank statement to come and be calling it on the social media for Nigerian government to go and troll our finance. Recently, the last one that they have done is that they arranged meeting. They deceived Simon from inside prison and they told him he should come and say hi to Biafrans. Then they arranged meeting. They brought in Biafra Defense Forces there, put their photos, all of them are speaking. They record Simon, put the video into the social media.
My people, come gwa unu maka that meeting. Unfortunately, our PM ọ nọ n'ime. O nwego oge m kwulie si na onwere onye bụ a professional freedom fighter. Mana onwerokwa na onye n'ime anyị bụ ụmụazị. Kee ka ị ga-esi wee mee onye nọ n'ime ka ọ na-ekwu okwu. Ikekwa ọmarọ na unu kpọrọ ya na meeting ma ọ na unu tinyelie na internet. Anything o kwuru a na-anụ ya there publicly. Ọ bụrụgodu na fa gbalụ plane wee jee Finland jefu ya, because fa na-emenu their own donation. They should be in funds. They should have had money surplus enough to take them to Finland. It would have been much better than ime ka fa wepụta onu PM. Mana oge PM pụta, ọ ga-afụ ebe Ngozi ya nwa na-akpọ ndị ọkpọta criminal, his lobbyist. Onyanwa bụ PM may introduce the lobbyist to Biafrans. Ngozi bụkwa COS that time. Ngozi ekwuru okwu. Oluzie ke o walk her way maka na ọ ṅụrụ iyi na ya ga-ememina PM. Ọ ṅụrụ iyi na ya mesia PM ife na PM ga-afụ. PM abịa kịta sị, oh, that we should not charge her to court, or as she has already been charged to court, that we should withdraw the case. Ndị nke abịa kpọọ ya na phone, wepụta his voice. If our family, the very, or the very, very detrimental. It is very, very detrimental. O nwere ike jeopardize some of the things, some of the cases ya bụ PM nwe. All the accusations elele against him. Why ị ga-eji wee na-ewepụta voice onye nọ n'ime prison ka ndị mmadụ na-anụ n'internet? You want to implicate him more and more. But, well, nwanne m, PM nyanwa nọ n'ime oge ọ pụtalụ, o watch ya ife ndị niile a na-akpọ ya kịta. Ọ ga-watch part fa play. He will have to watch the part they played. Ngwa kịta anụ wee designate in Nigeria. Kedu ka that designation si wee luo? Unu na-afụ all the time. our APM with all these congressmen, and all of them, they have individual offices that heads very important departments. One of them, Bolo Ted Cruz. Unu na-afụnya na anya here very well na this video dị here. Ị ga-afụ that Ted Cruz na APM. Kedukwanu Ngozi? Kedukwanu CRC? They are nowhere to be found. Onya Biafra, our information minister na-akọwa. So ndị be anyị, donation bụ something ada ayo mmadụ ayo, but anyị na-ayọ unu. Mana Fulani unu afụghị ekita, fa ga-eme nke fa by force. Maka ife fa na-achọ bụ ego fa ga-eji wee na-agba unu egbe, ka unu wee chinye aka ka fa bịa wele obodo unu, wee kposaa ndị befa, then install all their religion, install all their sharia. Ọ bụrụ na nke unu agwụgo, why don't you donate now? Why don't you donate now? Biafrans, we should donate. Anyị nidiro ayịyọ ha na-ayọ ka ndị babiala. Maka na Biafrans bụ ndị nwere ego. Asị adịrị ya, Biafrans nwere ego. You know, Biafrans nwere ego. Fulani enwere onye fa bụ oyi ya. As long as ị bụ onye Igbo, whether me na-aza ọkpara, me na-aza ada, whether me na-aza chief, me na-aza thief, as long as ị bụ Biafran, ị bụ enemy ndị Fulani. And if anyị na-eme ebe a, etu anyị ga-esi wee mee ngwa ngwa, wee nwee our recognition before ndị a abataba anyị, bịa gbube mmadụ anyhow. Maka na ndị afa gbu kịta, fa ga-agba Christmas again. Ndị afa gburu today, fa adịrọzi n'ọgụ. Ife a ka anyị na-achọ ka anyị mee ngwa ngwa, meghalụ ọdachi. This is what we are doing. This is why we come here to call on Biafrans all over the world. Come and show your own participation. Come and be involved. Your involvement is highly needed. Make no mistakes. Fulani, whether me sabotage from January to December, from Jericho to Jerusalem, as long as Igbo, you are their target. You are their prime target. Because former no so Biafrans bondi na challenge if na that country. Ọ bụrụ na ọ bụrụ Biafrans, o nwere onye ga-designate Nigeria. Other Nigerians fe nwere the balls. Because if they have, they should have done something. Of anọdụ na amagharị koke, Nigeria this, Nigeria that. Nigeria nwụrụ anwụ. Nigeria is dead and gone. Because Europe ga-ewepụ their support very soon. Their NATO chairman ekwugie, Mr. Gunter, okwugie that he is advocating in his parliament a cut or ties with Nigeria, that they are terrorist nation. If I have time, I will bring his video. Gosipunu, kunuge.
Another sabotage. Simon did not know. Simon is defending himself in court that he has nothing to do with Biafra Defense Forces. He's not commanding, he's not having a meeting with them. But the man is organizing meeting and bringing him in to come and talk to them, and they record it and put it in the social media. So what is the scorecard of these people? And what have they delivered to you? BRJ is where you see results coming, and international community are quoting all their results. Put your money where you see results and follow Unuru. Support BRJ to defend Biafra and to restore Biafra. They will from here. I salute all of you.
Yes, my people, our information ministers he has done justice to that very short and quick recap over our achievements. Those achievements will be a background to your reasoning. Let it be the underlying reason why you must donate. We are making progress. Let Ngozi, CRC, let them come and account for their own progress or their own achievements so far. For America to come and rebuke Nigeria, Nigeria is shaking and quaking because they have nothing to show. A terrorist nation has nothing to show. Killing Christians, marginalizing Christians. There's a video I'm showing you now. Let's just watch.
If we don't get Biafra, everybody will have to die. As simple as that.
And you mentioned guns, you mentioned arms and ammunition. If I go to Nigeria and I've already identified and made myself known, and I get arrested to fake treason, what are the modalities you put in place?
What I can say to you is that you can never ever be arrested.
The violent path has failed.
You must come out to support what we're doing. We need guns and we need bullets.
But I'm very confused. Did you make mention of you need arms and stuff?
Yes, we do.
So I really need to understand.
That the best way to defend yourself is to be armed. Because Boko Haram is everywhere in the zoo, police, in
Ndewo, my people. William, you are highly welcomed. Nsi, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. And my beautiful sis, Ndewo, almost hail Biafra. Yes, thank you so much. Biafrans, in this video, you will see a lot of things, but my information minister started with the voice of Onyendu, so it might not be clear, but we are getting to the core news after Onyendu's voice.
the zoo, the zoo, navy, the zoo.
Have you ever thought about the effects of what we're trying to incite? Is it possible for the concern to be addressed objectively?
There will be blood moon this year. Because after this year, we are going to be free no matter what happens. Because if we don't get Biafra, everybody will have to die. As simple as that.
And you mentioned guns, you mentioned arms and ammunition. If I go to Nigeria and I've already identified and made myself known, and I get arrested to fake treason, what are the modalities you put in place?
What I can say to you is that you can never ever be arrested.
The violent path has failed.
You must come out to support what we're doing. We need guns and we need bullets.
But I'm very confused. Did you make mention of you need arms and stuff?
Yes, we do.
So I really need to understand.
That the best way to defend yourself is to be armed. Because Boko Haram is everywhere in the zoo police, in the zoo army, in the zoo navy, zoo.
Have you ever thought about the effects of what we're trying to incite? Is it possible for the concern to be...
My people, that was Onyendu in the Red Ishiago talking to Biafrans in the US before he was abducted. Ọ sị na anyị nidile ego ka e wee gote egbe na mgbọ, na ndị Boko Haram na Fulani terrorist na fa bụ egbe bụrụ mgbọ. Ị nwere ike ịgba aka na-achụ onye ji egbe, my people. Ife niile anyị na-ekwu ebe a, ọ bụrụ na onu anyị a na-asọka ma ọ na anyị amaka ife anyị ga-ekwu. Ife anyị na-ekwu ebe a bụ ka onye ọbụla aghọta. Ka m gwa unu eziokwu, ekwue ndị nwere ego na zoo ọ ndị Biafra. Ndị nọ n'ụlọ nwere ezigbo ego, fa chọrọ iwepụta ego fa. Gwanụ m ka Ali na Onyema si wee welu 2 billion wee nye ndị Fulani. Kedu ụdị isi mgbaka dị like that? Onye na-egbu your people. It is better you did not do anything than doing things wrongly. Okenye na-agwa ofe. Ife a bụ onye ndu in America. Let me see if I can zoom it out. All those men na-eje ebute 2010 containers. Ọ bụrụ dollar kafa ji ebute. Ndị China ọ na-ana unu naira? The answer is no. Why don't you donate? In every nation, every country, every government, money is the life wire that runs through the vein of their governance. Every administration requires funding. I praise those who are donating for now, but the issue remains that we have not gotten Biafra yet. We are still at the middle of it. We have gone far accepted, but we still need donations from our people. Please, my people, we ask you gently and nicely to come and donate. But Fulani do their own by force. Fulanis do their own by force. You will donate to Fulani with your blood, whether you like it or not. When they kidnap you, you go and pay them. So why don't you donate that money? Let us get more and more lobbyists. Countries recognize our recognition. Our territorial boundaries are naturally and automatically secured. Unumana, the reason why Nandi UN enwere ike ịbịa bụ asị Nigeria government na selfa no brother and sister header clash. And the UN rule of law, they don't go to any country where there is no crisis. Nigeria continues to deny that there is no crisis. In the UN, they have 2 people there. Pantami is there. The other Ajia, the lady, is there, protecting their interest. The only protection you have is this, your Ejema and Eje. Even if it is 1 Eje, as I said earlier, if you have 99 Eje, onye nke ọzọ bịa donate 1 Eje, omenye the 100. My people, we are not jihadists. Anya do anụ ọgụ mkpagbu. Ife anyị na-ekwu bụ onye ji ego ọ bụlụgodu 5 Eje or 5 Ejema or 1 Ejema wete bịa donate. Ife a na-erolu here bụ our website. Unu mana oge ndị CRC, the second breakaway zipụ nke a na-akpa Azubike or Azu removed our donation link. Even when PM told them to go and return it, they said no. That lobbyist, Fanasi, oh Madam Vam Vam Vam, Onasi Elias, come close, you will not succeed. Oh, fana lead anyị kita. Alpha Nigeria is in internet everywhere, all because of Olubreji Inalu. And my people, only a na-edu anyị Faburo charitable organization. Fana nego. Fana alụla ya ọlụ, fana alụla ya based on na a na-akwụfe ụgwọ. Biko nụ ndị be anyị. Kama unu ga na-enye ndị Fulani ego a. Politics nwere ka esi egwue. Ọ bụrụ na ọka anyị na Fabian Nuba conventional war again. The war unu ga-agbalụ ndị Hausa kịta na ndị Fulani bụ donate. Onya bụ the highest battle unu ga-show up now. Come and donate. At least unu afugo na Nigeria na-shake kita. Fan agba from pillar to post, all because of Breji and all because of your donation. I will always praise those of you that comes to donate. Ana m aja unu ike maka na ndị na-esi n'ụlọ na-abịa donate eriro nne feriro nne, but some of them ghọta anụ na-donate.
Address objectively. There will be blood moon this year because after this year we are going to be free no matter what happens. Because if we don't get Biafra, everybody will have to die. As simple as that.
You mentioned guns, you mentioned arms and ammunition. If I go to Nigeria and I've already identified and made myself known, and I get arrested to face treason,
where we continue to ride on deception. Truth is truth, and truth must not be covered for anything. If there is anything that has been brought up, we must work together to see to an end to this reality. There is this issue that is ongoing about the genocide in Nigeria against the Christians or the Middle Beltans. It is true. We can't deny it. Before the militants and some of the Islamic militants began to kill some of the Hausas in Zamfara and other places, we all know that Christian communities were totally displaced. And we have recorded tens of thousands of Christians in the northern Nigeria that have been killed and their communities have been taken away. This is genocide. What is the meaning of genocide? I mean, the English definition is there. What genocide means. Now, I want you, except you are an enemy of Nigeria, but if you know that you're passionate and you're patriotic about the state of this country, then we must share this among ourselves and speak the truth to ourselves and agree with the reality of what is on ground. I have had some of the special assistant media and all of that to the president coming out to say there is no genocide in Nigeria.
Yes, Biafrans, they will always say that there is no genocide going on in Nigeria. Unfortunately for them, oh God. My people, what you will understand from everything going on now is that Nigeria government is always living in denial. In order to buttress this point raised by this man of God, He is from Borno, according to him, but he is a Christian and a pastor. Nigeria will deny that there is no genocide, just like they denied that there is no fight in Nigeria, so that UN will not come. They will tell you it's farmer header clash while they are busy killing people. When they started their Muslim ticket, they said no one should expect any hospital, ask them to build hospital or build school or give you this or give you that they are coming to Islamize the whole Nigeria. Why is it that Nigeria, the most populous African nation, are all sitting quiet? They only left Biafrans to be their advocate against the genocide going on in Nigeria and the massacre of Christians. How do you define it? You will come inside the church and kill the people there and burn down their religious building because you don't want their presence. You don't want to hear about them. You don't want them to continue practicing their own faith, but you want to force your own evil religion down our throat. And Shetima will just keep quiet. You will never hear him talk. But behind the closed doors, Shetima is there, breathing like a horse, dishing out money for terrorism to keep carrying on, killing Christians all over the place. All these places in the north. Hello, my sister. Good morning. Love Nwantiti Ndewo. Thank you so much. When you are killing one set of people, it will only take a while for the truth to surface, because truth is like sandpaper. When you put it inside the water, it will surely float. It will eventually float. The truth is the only thing that will set human beings free. And if the Fulanis in Nigeria believe that that word of God does not apply to them, let us see how far they go from here. Because what is coming for them is bigger, it will surely be bigger than them. My people, why we call on you on daily basis to come and donate is because every country, every nation, every government, like we have our own government in exile, requires funding. And my people, be informed that freedom fighting is capital intensive. O nwere onye bụ nwata, aghụghọ adịrị ya. O nwelu nke nọ ebe a, sim Betty Ford, mu close my criminal mouth. Nee ya, ịgbago here, ị ga-afụ ya. Nee ya, ọsị ya bụ Chief Okpara. You can imagine. Nee ya, oh, ọsị na afịa bụ gift, fadi too. Gift Grace. Ofu nke ọzọ bụ Chief Okpara. Why do you people like to live in denial? If Biafra Defense Forces are not there, when they come, they will show you that they hate you with passion as an Igbo man. Even their women, there's one ranting on the internet, insulting the Igbos. Why do you people keep holding us? Why don't you let us go? So anybody coming to insult your brother instead of fighting with your brother, let me tell you that these people will not let go of you. When they come, assuming it is not BDF, they would have overrun the whole Biafra land by now, because you are their prime target. So Nodeba Kobamonu onwada tapu madiaru, Adam matured enough very old enough to know that n'ọnụ akọrọ nwugo na awụ nwugo arụ. O nwere ife ọnụnụ na come here na this platform, Chief Okpara and Gift Grace. I don't know the kind of ndị Igbo unu nwa bụ. Fulani bata bata, o nwere onye fa gaspe. Maka na ọsọsọ ndị Igbo bụ ndị na-enyefa tough time. Other Nigerians, nke anwa gbasafa, it is just entirely up to them. Fa chọọ ịpụ, oho, fa chọrọ ịpụ, it is entirely their business. So this pastor here si na ya bụ onye Borno, mana ọ bụ pastor. O wee na-debunk all these lies from Shetima na Tinubu na Gumi na ndị otu ya. Gumi nọ kịta na-agbagharị. Gumi agbalụgo kịta agbapụ gbaga Turkey. Ndị Turkey achụpụ ya. Etu o sikwa wee jee na June this year na Saudi Arabia. Ndị Saudi Arabia chụọ ya. Onye nwere uche ga-ama na ebe Saudi Arabia bụ fanwa bụ the originators of Islam. Chụrụ gị sị gị pụọ na their land na ebe terrorist. And you continue, then you are a fool forever. You are a big fool. So my people, the only war I ga-agba ndị a bụ donating angrily, donate with annoyance, iwe na ọnụma. We need it today, 7 p.m. Biafra time. Ndewo, my brother. Ndewo, we are on a program that our information minister made yesterday. There's a particular video that I want them to watch. This pastor have told them here that Nigeria is lying, that there is genocide and massacre of Christians going on because they burn churches as well. Why don't they go and burn the mosque? Yes, any big building, why don't they go and burn the mosque? Because that is the only one they want to be standing. And the world must know that in this analysis of what is going on in Nigeria, that Christians have been targeted and remains their target. And we, the Biafrans, are predominantly Christians.
You know that 300 Christians were massacred. So you don't talk about Benue. Just within 2023, 500 Christians were killed throughout 2023 in Benue. And you go to this community, I have been there. The Christians are not there any longer. They have been displaced. So there is genocide in Nigeria. And so nobody can tell us lies when we know we have lost so much of our brethren. I have joined in the burial and the mourning of tens of thousands of Christians that have been destroyed and killed in this great country. All I encourage the Nigerian state is to rise up to occasion. Whether it is an attack on a Muslim, whether it is an attack on a church, we must stop it. There is genocide going on. And people are being eliminated, taken away from their community. And I want to say again, we cannot allow a one-party system in this country.
My people, if I mean by one-party system, Fulani is that one-party system. Or if I mean, ndị be anyị, onye nwere onye ilo, amaro na ya nwere onye ilo bụ onye nzuzu. Ọ ka onye anwa mma na ọ dịrọ ndụ. We have enemies. Formidable arrays of enemies, according to Onye Ndumazi Nnamdi Kanu. And it is true. Make no mistakes. Also, kwagi je na fight ụmụnne gị. Na jump rally from platform to platform. Na akpọ ụmụnne gị criminal. When there is nothing belonging to you that is in my possession, in fact, I don't even listen to you. Fulani bia, they will not ask you whether you are Sabo, as long as Igbo onye Igbo. ịbụ onye Biafra, because Biafra, Igbo bụ 40 United States of Biafra. Anyị erika, we are many, and we are their target. They are still fighting is because we are not giving them chance to penetrate into our fatherland. Ndị ọzọ dị easy to conquer. So, listen to this pastor.
It's not healthy. As much as we give our support to the system and the government to succeed, Nigeria cannot survive on one-party system. And I want to say to all these selfish, self-centered politicians, it is time you rethink your actions. Corruption among you must stop, and you must rise up for this time.
Il 13, il 14 giugno.
Yes, corruption among politicians, unfortunately in Nigeria, will never stop. We are stopping them by cutting them off from our group. That is Biafra. Any Biafra politician that wants to continue with that corruption, that nepotism, that terrorism should relocate to the north when Biafra comes. My people, this is Pope. Let us listen to him, though he spoke in Italian language.
Nella città di Yelewata, nell'area amministrativa locale di Guma, nello stato di Benue, in Nigeria, si è verificato un terribile massacro in cui circa 200 persone sono state uccise con estrema crudeltà, la maggior parte delle quali erano sfollati interni, ospitati dalla missione cattolica locale. Prego affinché la sicurezza, la giustizia e la pace prevalgano in Nigeria, paese amato e così colpito da varie forme di violenza. E prego in modo particolare per le comunità cristiane rurali dello Stato di Benue, colpito da varie forme di violenza. E prego in modo particolare.
Yes, my people, what he is saying here is that 200 Christians were massacred in Benue Plateau State because there is a tiny, tiny writings here translating what he is saying into English. Ndị be anyị, nke a ga-egosi unu na mba ụwa niile amalụgo alụ Naijiria na-akpa. Ọ bụ na onye egwu na-atụ na ya marọ ka ya ga-esi donate, biko kpọọ m n'ekwentị a na-agagharị ka ị wee malụ what to say, what to ọ bụ na account etu ị ga-esi wee donate, just kpọọ m na that number.
A big one to our APM, the man of the moment, the man that everybody looks up to. I salute you for your courage and your resilience and your sacrifices. I salute Biafrans in the media who spend their time day and night to make sure the gospel of Biafra continue to herald in history. Your works are not in vain and will never be. We must continue because we have more enemies now than before. I want everyone to understand that we went to Washington, D.C. to recognize more enemies to Biafra. There are things or there are stages we get to in life that you need to understand that you are stepping up, and as you're stepping up, your responsibility is increasing. The challenges you face increasing as well. Your enemies will also increase, and the task ahead of you will also increase. Our going to Washington, D.C. was not a showy display. It was business. Confirmation of real business to tell the world that we are ready and we mean business this time for this Biafra independence.
Yes, my people, sorry about cutting off that. We mean business is not just a mere talk, it's a serious talk. Anyị mean business. Unu lotekwa na after the war na oge Philip Effiong je wee mitie ndị Nigeria, onye kpụ ya wee jee bụ Obasanjo, wee si no victor no vanquish. Philip Effiong sifa, yes, ife ọsọrọ unu kwue, mana ọ bụrụ na unu handle these children well, Biafra will rise up again. And this is it, my people. Anyị abụrụ ndị a na-akwọ n'azụ wee na-apịa nnefe ife. Mba, onye mere ana anyị ga-egosie. Lotekwa na Biafra abịabago. Ọ bụ na Biafra bịa today, what is your own quota of contribution? Kedu ife ị gasị nọ ife email Biafra ji wee bịa? Because ọ bụ na uche unu bụ na some of you ga-elo na Biafra ma bịa asị ime kata kịta this speed ndị Fulani ji kịta anyị wee si na anyị a na-achị azụ. Hey, that is all ọnwụ ka ọ ga-abụ. And the fact ga-anala unu your ancestral land, na-emugharị anya kpolu Fulani wuju everywhere, fa ga-eme unu everybody abụrụ onye na-akpọ isi anyị. Is that what you want? Make your donation generously.
I keep saying it, that we have done few things, remarkable few things in Washington, D.C. from July, August, September, October, November of 2025. How many months did I count? July, August, September, October, November of 2025. Let's say 4 months.
Right, or 5
right?
months.
And within these 4 months, you have seen the way the ripple effect or the resonance frequency of what we have done in Washington, D.C. with our physical presence. Within these 4 months, you have seen the resonance frequency of what we have done in Washington, D.C., the way it is resonating in Nigeria, and the way it is resonating in the entire world. So meaning that Washington, D.C., America is where we need to be blowing the trumpet. If we want the entire world to hear us very loud and clear, America is where we need to blow the trumpet louder and louder. So if we had the two conventions that we had in Europe, if they were held in America, by this time the sky would have been a limit. By this time, the sky would have been our limit. Because the way American government would have keyed in, having known that you are declaring Biafra inside America, inside Washington, D.C. It is a very big honor to the American people to carry the glory that you declared Biafra independence in exile in their very before and in their own country. And then they will carry the glory. America love their names to be in history, and when their names are in history, they don't play with that history.
Yes, Biafrans. He mentioned that we would have conducted our redeclaration, which we did in Lahti, Finland last year, when we were all there dancing and jubilating that we have redeclared our nation. Biafrans, let me tell you what it is. You see, Finland is only 5.4 million. Think of the number of Biafrans that voted for our self-referendum, 56 million. These are the ones that have courage in homeland to vote, but we are more than 70 million. And Finland traded our PM for money to Nigeria, terrorist nation. They will look for an excuse. They will look for an excuse to tell you that all these terrorist nations, they are very, very deceitful. Their deception is on a very high level that I cannot imagine how a country will sell their own citizen, which is our APM, Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mmeji Buago. They sold him for a pot of porridge, like how Jacob sold his birthright to Esau because of pot of porridge. The people of Finland need money. That's why they sold our PM to Nigeria. So when we are telling you to donate, you have to use this example I have given now to know that every nation requires money. Biafra government in exile, yes, fair enough, but we need money. Come and donate today, 7 p.m. Biafra time. Let's continue.
They uphold it and then they live up to it. So, had it been the two remarkable conventions we had in Helsinki and also in Lati for Biafra were held in America, in Washington, D.C., or even in New York, or anywhere inside America, hey, the sky would have been our limit now. Just calculate. Calculate it and say something. From July, August, September, October of 2025, we've done few remarkable things in Washington, D.C. that recorded our presence inside Washington, D.C. And then look at the resonance frequency of it. Look at the resultant effect of it. Look at how it is blowing wind. Look at how thunder is emanating in Nigeria because of our physical presence in Washington, D.C.
Earthquake.
From July, August, September, October of 2025. But there is something wonderful that is loading. Yes. We went to the U.S. congressional briefing to open the door. And we opened the door. And all the bees and all the mosquitoes and all the flies they let loose. Now we are going to open another door. We are coming.
Lo stato di Benue in Nigeria si è verificato un terribile massacro in cui circa 200
Christian. over 200 Christians were slaughtered. They were massacred in broad daylight. Pope Leo is speaking. And he was speaking in June when the massacre happened. I asked a very simple question in the topic of this broadcast. And today's broadcast is going to be interactive. You can call in.
Sorry, my people, is the internet. It's slow.
I want somebody to come and tell us or challenge us or give us evidence of Muslim genocide that was carried out by Christians. And I am asking this question not just inside Nigeria. I'm asking this question for the global world. The global world. The global world. If there is any evidence of Muslim genocide that was carried out by the Christians, Muslim genocide, who carried out the genocide, you say it is Christians. You give us the evidences of this genocide that was carried out by Christians on the Muslims. You explain to us the location, you give us all evidences, you give us references. Let us go and check. We will open and bring your references to the screen for everybody to see. We just want to juxtapose the argument when we are bringing this out to make people understand that Christians are the endangered species in this contraption called Nigeria. And people are coming out to say, no, they massacre Muslims. It is Muslim genocide. We are asking that we want to see Muslim genocide that is committed by Christians on them. We need it. Please, media team, if you have not paid up your channel, go and pay up your channel. I have posted the link in all the platforms where you normally get the links. I came in unannounced, so it's an impromptu. So please check the platforms, the media team platforms, and pay up your channels from wherever you're listening, please. We need evidence because without the existence of Biafra Defense Forces, which we tell you fund Biafra Defense Forces, without the existence of Biafra Defense Forces, the massacre that you hear 200 announced by Pope Leo was supposed to happen in Biafra land. But the Biafran people, brainstorming and defending the homeland under the supervision of the Biafra Defense Forces, are able to curtail and to push away the terrorists that are supposed to come and wipe their babies, women, and children. The massacre that happened here, which Pope Leo is talking about, consumed over 200 lives of babies, women, and children, and men. To every casket, there is a baby inside. To every casket, there is a child inside. To every casket, there is a toddler inside. To every casket, there is a mother inside. To every casket, there is a father, there is a grandfather, there is a sister, there is a brother, there is there is a great grandfather inside. If Pope Leo is condemning the genocide as a pope, and then other people are saying otherwise, I am calling on all those that are coming to counter the Christian genocide in Nigeria to come up and give us contrary evidence. According to this topic, we need to see Muslim genocide evidence. And that evidence that you have to give us is that it is the Christians that are carrying out the genocide on the Muslims. That is the evidence we want to see.
So, Biafrans, my people, you know we never stop going round to look for information about this Christian genocide in Nigeria because they kept denying. But they keep doing this around the whole world. And we are in the world. So we will always compare what is happening to us with what is going on in other parts of the world. There's this Muslim girl that I would like us to listen to. This one is happening in the UK. Listen to it.
I was born in England. So what happened is when I came out of The Apprentice in 2019, I started a YouTube channel. It's called Candid with Lubna.
Yeah.
And because I felt like as if this country is divided and the situation seems very, very dire. Like people are talking about civil war, this kind of stuff. So eventually I started talking about things which I felt could help build bridges between people from my race and religion and the native white English people.
Yeah.
So the way I feel is that people from my background can do more to build bridges, and I started doing that by condemning the bad people from within the community.
Well, the condemning thing is important, isn't it? Because
Yes.
we hear this a lot, I mean, particularly when there's terrorist attacks or whenever there's an Islamic problem in the country. We always say, and we always hear people say, why doesn't the local community, the Pakistani community, condemn what's going on?
Exactly.
And
And
so,
I agree.
so it doesn't happen a lot, does it?
It doesn't happen a lot, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be that spark. And you know, we always hear about the good apples and the good Muslims, and most Muslims are peaceful. Oh well, fantastic. Where are they?
Yeah.
Because I've been getting death threats. People turned up at my door. I've had to leave my hometown. Obviously, I'm not telling anyone where I am. I'm not openly going out there in the public either, because I don't know. I literally trust nobody. And sadly, I was hoping that this would be an opportunity for the Muslim community, the Pakistani community, to come out and condemn and say they condemn what the extremists did. Sadly, I experienced the opposite. So the majority of Muslims and Pakistanis coming underneath my YouTube videos have been saying, oh, we support what's happened to her. Thank God she's not going to be doing YouTube anymore. And I'm thinking, wow, you don't sound very peaceful and very moderate. Where are the moderate Muslims gone? So what these people do is they support the extremists. So in their mind, they think that they are the peaceful, moderate Muslims, but they're supporting the extremists. So in my eyes, you're as bad as the people threatening me. And so I am very disappointed in the people living in this country who were maybe born here, but I don't think have integrated and assimilated the way that they should have. And frankly, if that's their attitude, they don't belong in this country. And I'm going to stand by that. You know, just because there are illegal migrants coming in who maybe were born in the same country as my parents or were raised in the same faith as me doesn't mean that I'm happy with illegal migrants coming into this country. I'm sorry, these people are a security threat. And the grooming gangs, the gang rape gangs, let's talk about that. Why can I not condemn those people? It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting.
I've always said
Yes.
Of The Apprentice,
Yeah, friends, you all remember now that our information minister said, if anyone will show him where Christians have gone to fight Muslims, that the person should come and say it. And the answer is none. At least from our orientation as Christians, Christ taught us not to kill anyone, not to fight anyone, to be peaceful, to say the truth always. Then in Biafra Republic government, in Biafra movement, Onye Ndu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is our leader, he said that we should always say the truth at all times, even if that truth will lead to your death. We do not hound Muslims, those worshipping as Islam. We don't interfere with their religion. We don't interfere with any other religion, but they are always on our toes. And this girl you heard now, she was saying that she lives in Luton and that she's a Pakistani origin, but her parents had her in London, that she was born in London. And she condemns terrorism, gang raping by these Islamic jihadists, the extremists. So we don't do such things. But that does not mean that if they bring their war to us, that we will ignore them or be watching them. No, my people, we have to donate and get the same equipment they have and fight back. Even UN Charter, international rule of law, say that if someone comes to fight you, you have right to defend yourself. Or if I name it, mmegwala bụrụ ọbụrụ alụ, and gịnị ka ị ga-eji wee megwala onye ilo gị? O bulu egbe, gị nwa ga-ebu egbe. And anyị nidile ego ka e wee gote nya bụ egbe and wee mee ife ọzọ. Like I said earlier on, freedom fight is very capital intensive and it requires a lot of money. It requires money. Yes, my people. So, Biafrans, this is the thing. Let us continue to listen to our information minister.
That is the evidence we want to see. Because, let us explain again. Biafrans are predominantly Christians. And let me bring our map that has the state-by-state structure to the screen, so that those that do not understand will get the message well and correct, because a lot of us are still skeptical or ignorant of some things. When you had us in the U.S. congressional briefing, stating and explaining to the United States government that there is a Christian genocide, and then we made it clear that this is Biafran genocide, that Biafrans are predominantly Christians. Some of you have grew up to hear that we are quoted to be over 80 million Biafrans. I want to ask you, how many of the people in your village do not go to church? From the boundary of Ondo to the boundary of the Atlantic Ocean here, to the boundary of Ambazonia, to the boundary of Upper Benue, Upper Kogi, I want to ask, how many of your mothers and fathers do not go to church? Or how many of them do not kneel down to pray? How many? If you should count from this map, counting all the 40 states of Biafra here that have emerged, if you look at this map, it is only 1 or 2% of people that do not go to church. But they still call God and pray with God's name. You will see them shout Jesus. You never hear as native doctor shout Jesus, have you? Never hear as native doctor shout Jehovah, God. Okay, when native doctor say God of thunder, God of the water, God of the sea, God of light, God of fire. Who is that God of fire? Who created that fire? Who created the water? Who created the thunder? Who even created darkness? Who created all these things? God of the soil, God of the air, God of the sea, God of the moon, the rising sun God, God of the stone, God of this, God of that, God of... Who created all these elements? It is one God that created it, right? And that one God told us he has his only begotten son. So, whether at the end of the day, you say you are traditional worshiper or Jewish worshiper, you're still calling God, right? So if we are to even calculate the traditional worshippers and the Jewish worshippers, the percentage is just 1%. Yes, because from where I come from, my father used to pour drink on the ground and pray. And I also pour drink on the ground and pray. And when I pour drink on the ground and pray, I'm calling on God. I'm not calling on Satan. And then, when I also hear that they are singing and then praising God, I also enjoy the praises to God. because they are still calling the same God. But just a different way of worship. Maybe I only pour drink and pray. Then the other person will open Bible and then read from the beginning to the end. But we are calling on still one God of creation. Oh. In Biafra land, 40 states, from the 80 million that we hear of to be our population, 99%, 99.89%, let me put it like that, 99.89% of that 80 million are Christians. It's only 0.00 something now that makes up the traditionalists and the Jewish there. So when we say that Biafrans are Christians and that there is a Christian genocide, we are talking of the Biafran people predominantly, because they are the people here that are the Christians that we are talking about. And we want everybody to understand this, because the Biafran people are the Christians here that we're talking about. We are predominantly Christians. The 80 million Biafrans are Christians. They are all Christians. So we are the endangered species that have found ourselves in the hands of the terrorists who wants to wipe us all out. And then, without the existence of Biafra Defense Forces, hey, all of us wouldn't have been alive today. Oh. None of us would have been alive today. Our babies, our women and children, none of them would have been alive today if not the existence of the Biafra Defense Forces. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not exist, and if the gallant men and women of Biafra did not exist, I don't know if we would have had a home that we can call our own today. I am still waiting for somebody that have evidence of Muslim genocide to bring it up for us so that we can learn from it today. We want to learn from the Muslim genocide that is carried out by Christians on the Muslims so that we can see how to apologize if our fellow Christian brothers have carried out genocide on the Muslims.
Biafrans, our information minister is still waiting. For those of you who will be jumping like mosquitoes from platform to platform, looking for your own brother to fight, Fulanis are there terrorizing our people, and no one is rebuking them. They are fighting for their own interest, for their religious name to be spread, and for them to grab your land, the one they call Ruga, and go and bring all Fulanis in the West Africa and other African nations to come and settle them in your father's land. And you are here, jumping like a monkey from tree to tree to curse your own brothers. I have shown you people what they did today in Biafra land. Let anyone who will tell or give evidence that Christians that we go burning the mosque belonging to Muslims, or that we even fight them, We trade with them, we do businesses with them. Our schools and hospitals are open to welcome them, and we do. But no, some of you will come misplacing your priority. What we are talking about now is funding of Biafra. That fund is what will keep Biafra going, because we need to march forward through to the end of our recognition and establishing our own nation. That's what our minister is saying. And we have to advertise. We have to keep advertising Biafra,
Dalla
evangelizing.
missione cattolica locale. Prego affinché la sicurezza, la giustizia, il massacro in cui circa 200 persone sono state uccise con estrema crudeltà, la maggior parte delle quali erano sfollati interni, ospitati dalla missione cattolica locale. Prego affinché la sicurezza, la giustizia e la pace prevalgano in Nigeria, paese amato, massacro in cui circa 200 persone sono state uccise con estrema crudeltà, la maggior parte delle quali erano sfollati interni, ospitati dalla missione cattolica locale. Prego affinché la sicurezza, la giustizia e la pace prevalgano in Nigeria, paese amato e così colpito da varie forme di violenza. E prego in modo particolare per le comunità cristiane rurali dello Stato di Benue, che incessantemente sono massacro in cui circa 200 persone sono state uccise con estrema crudeltà, la maggior parte delle quali erano sfollati interni, ospitati dalla missione cattolica locale. Prego affinché la sicurezza, la giustizia e la pace prevalgano in Nigeria, paese amato e così colpito da varie forme di violenza. E prego in modo particolare per le comunità del massacro in cui circa 200 persone sono state uccise con estrema crudeltà, la maggior parte delle quali erano sfollati interni, ospitati dalla missione cattolica locale. Prego affinché la sicurezza, la giustizia e la pace prevalgano in Nigeria, paese amato e così colpito da varie forme di violenza. E prego in modo particolare per le comunità cristiane rurali dello Stato di Benue, che incessantemente sono stati vittime della violenza. Nella notte tra il 13 e il 14 giugno, nella città di Yelewata, nell'area amministrativa locale di Guma,
I want to see Muslims presenting the genocide that Christians carried out. I want to see genocide that was carried out by Christians on Muslims. Biafrans have been massacred as Christians. The Yorubas have been massacred as Christians. Even the Hausas have been massacred because many of them don't even know what they find themselves into. And many of the Hausas are Christians. Yes. If you see me play one video of a pastor now, the pastor is speaking and then he's speaking Hausa. So many of them are Christians. It is only the Christians that they target and then eliminate. I am asking a very simple and pertinent question. We want to see Muslim genocide that is carried out by Christians on the Muslims. We want to see. We are looking for. We are looking for Muslim genocide that is carried out by Christians so that we use it to juxtapose what is happening. Please, I need. No Muslim genocide. Okay, if nobody is able to give me evidence of Muslim genocide, so what do you now use to validate the Christian genocide? What is the crime that a Christian has committed that merits to be wiped out? What has Christians done that is a crime that now validates the terrorists to slaughter them?
I don't understand.
The Christians are not going after them to slaughter them. There is no evidence, because I have been here for the past 40 minutes now, and I have been asking for one evidence of where Muslim genocide was carried out by Christians. Christians. And then I ask now that someone should produce or bring it up. Tell me that you have the evidence. You want to come up to the mic, I will give you the link. You log into the studio. Just come up. We want to see one Muslim genocide that was carried out on the Muslim people. By who? By Christians. So up to now, 40 minutes going in this program, nobody can present evidence of Christian genocide to us. I don't believe you guys. So honestly, I don't believe. Oh. There should be evidence of Muslim genocide carried out by the Christians, which is now validating a reprisal attack on the Christians. That is what it should be, and that is how it should be. That is what I am looking for, to be able to validate what is happening. Because if Biafra Defense Forces did not exist, if Biafrans have not been funding them, if Biafrans have not been giving them what they need to carry out the defense of Biafra land, to protect our babies, women, and children, that means today, the 50,000 numbers, that is being pronounced here, all these 50,000 would have been Biafrans. And the number would have multiplied more than this. There are publications where the numbers are more than 50,000. There are publications where the numbers are up to 100,000. I think there is one publication from, is it Vanguard? Let me see. There's one publication from Vanguard that carries over 100,000. Okay, here it is on the screen. Let me bring this one up. This is Vanguard. And this is very clear. Now, I want everybody to look at the screen. Insecurity, 63,111 killed in Buhari's 8 years regime. Then, they give you more figures. They say 27,311 persons killed in president's first term. Now, 35,800 killed between 2019 and May 2023. Do you get the point? Now, total of 98,083 killed in 12 years. How many is that? 98,000. 98,000. 98,000. I am not the one that wrote this news of Vanguard. Oh. I'm not the one that wrote this news of Vanguard. This publication was released in May 20th, 2023. And you bought it at the price of 250 naira. Okay? So, I am just asking for a small evidence of where the Christians carried out genocide on the Muslims. Where the Christians carried out genocide on the Northerners. That is what I am asking, so that we can know where we got it wrong and where we have to start fixing it. But I have been here for the past 45 minutes now, and nobody in the comment section is ready to tell me that this is where Muslim genocide was carried out and that it was carried out by Christians. I am still waiting to see. I need somebody to come up and give me factual evidence of where Muslim genocide was carried out by the Christians. So now, when you now check in 2018, you can see that from this Heritage Foundation have not been able to gather the statistics from 2002, not even from 2009. Heritage Foundation have been able to carry the statistics from only 2018. And even the 2018 statistics that they carried is not enough because they don't have their network to cover the entire Nigeria.
ụmụnne anyị nọ n'ụlọ, ife our information minister na-achọ ịkọwala unu bụ na ndị a na-egbu anyị fe nwere osialị, fe nwere ife dịka ife ndị ọcha na-akpọ excuse or grounds, ya reason ife faji egbu ndị bụ Christians. O wee sio, ọ bụrụ na o nwenugo onye fụrụ ebe ndị Christian na anyanwa jee na-agba mosque fa ọkụ ma ọ na-egbufa nwa bụ ndị Muslim, onye anwa pụta bịa kwuo okwu gị efu over 30 minutes mana o nwere onye pụta anụ. Mana ife ọ na-ekwu ọ ga-akwụsịfa igbu mmadụ nke a na-akpọ terrorism, ọ ma akwụsị. So gịnị ka anyị ga-eme? Anyị ga-akaba arụ wee make sure na fafụrụ azụ anyị anya and na anyị na fa nọrọ nso. So anyị nidili egbe a ga-eji wee na-achụfu ọsọ, n'idi ego anyị ga-eji wee na-eje ebe anyị na-eje. Unu afụgo nọ nke anyị jere eje kpata America president ji wee kwuo nke okwu Nigeria niile na-esheki na-amaliriri ka ebe earthquake na-eme. ọnya ka ọ na-akọwa ife a ka anyị na-egekwu ya ntị. O nwere ana nke mma na ụnụ ama aghọta, akọwalụ m unu, ọ ga-adịla onye ọbụla mma.
So, from 2018, 3,731 is what Heritage Foundation report was able to gather. Now, let me come back to everybody. My question now is, how many numbers of Israelis were slaughtered on October 7 that provoked the entire Israel and provoked the entire Israeli military? How many numbers of American citizens were captured by Boko Haram 3 years ago that provoked the American government that they send their professional snipers of the American military to enter Sambisa forest and kill few Boko Haram terrorists and rescue their 2 citizens that were there? Can everybody understand my point? I said, here in the Heritage Foundation report, 2018 to 2019 is giving you a time frame of 1 year. And then 3,731 people were slaughtered, specifically Christians. Christians. And then I asked a question. How many Christians or how many citizens of Israel were massacred on October 7 that necessitated the reprisal of the Israel military or the Israel people against the Hamas terrorists? How many? The number was 1,200. 1,200. But what is here on this screen now is telling you 3,731. And I did not see protests of Christians in the streets in Nigeria. I did not see protests of politicians in the street. I did not see protests of Nigerians in the street. I did not see protests of Christian Association of Nigeria in the street. I did not see protests of Northerners, Easterners, Westerners, and everything in the street. No. Because the Nigerian government buried this reportage. They did not allow you. They did not allow international community. They did not allow these statistics to come out to the media for people to know that this is what is happening to Christians. This is from 2018, according to the statistics of Heritage Foundation. Then in 2019 to 2020, you have another 1,350. And then you did not see anybody hit the streets. You did not see anybody protest. You did not see anybody shout and call on the freedom of Christians. Why? Because Nigerian government, they block this reportage from going out. 2020 to 2021, you now see another number, 3,530. Hey. You did not see protests going out in the media. You did not see protests going everywhere in the world for anybody to know and hear. It was only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that started carrying the news. Only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu carried the news of the genocide. And because of that, they decided to go after his life. They decided to kidnap him and lock him up because He opened the eyes of every Nigerian. He was preaching it. He was calling on everybody. He was telling them that this is what is happening. This is what is happening. This is what is going to happen. Your mothers will be raped. Your children will be killed. They will cut off the heads of your babies, women, and children. They will marry your mothers out. They will rape them and take them all out. They will ransack your communities and they will take everything that you have. They will pursue you out of your lands. You will go back into IDP camps, and the terrorists that came will now acclaim your own land. They will take over your belongings. You will become slaves in your homes. That is why they decided to go after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why they decided to go after Biafran people, because we started amplifying the message. Now, in 2020 to 2021, 3,500 came out. No protests in Nigeria. No news anywhere. Nothing is going in or coming out. From 2021 to 2022, you see 4,650 Christians massacred. Many of you hear that your brothers and sisters are in the north, and then you don't hear from them again after some time. You will just count it that, oh, he has fallen among those that Boko Haram terrorists have killed. Many of us have been forcefully disappeared from Biafra land, and they take us to Guantanamo Bay in this area of the far north, where they use our sisters, our brothers as sex slaves by the Boko Haram terrorists. And there is a mandate in their pamphlet that when they carry out this kidnapping, when they rape you and finish, they must kill you. They will rape man, rape woman, rape everything, and then at the end of the day, they will kill you. If they can kill a baby, a toddler, if they can kill a toddler, how much more a teenager? How much more a child that is able to walk and speak? Why is it that these figures are coming out now? Where were these figures in the social media so that everybody will see? Where were these figures? Do you know why Nigerian government refused to have a database system? So that they won't be ready to account for numbers of babies, women, and children slaughtered by the terrorists.
Yes.
Because the target is to go into the Christian communities, emasculate them, and annihilate them, and then take over their communities. So Nigerian government would not give you any statistics of the population census and upfront and what has been minus and those that are still alive and those that will even come to. No! If you ask them, they will tell you Nigeria has no database system.
Yes, my people, Nigeria is a very manipulative country. That's how they are now using judges to manipulate Onyendu and his case. A terrorist act or terrorism act that they somehow repealed it. It is no longer of judicial effect since 2013. Nigeria government have now mandated the judge, the unprofessional judge James Omotosho, to invoke the forces of that law on Onyendu's case. And what that law says is that if you are found committing act of separation or whatever, trying to overthrow Nigeria government or doing anything contrary to what that section provides, that the punishment is either death penalty or life imprisonment. They removed it because of their own terrorist group. To avoid any Fulani terrorist being trapped into that law or trapped by the law, they removed it, they repealed it. Now they are applying that obsolete law to Onyendu's case, so that no matter what, is either Onyendu gets life sentence or he gets death sentence. But they repealed it since 2013. Just like they have been covering the massacre of Christians, they will tell you it's farmer header clash, so that the UN will not resonate their law to come to defend souls in Nigeria. Granted that we are Christians, but what of those who are not Biafrans, that are Christians, who they are killing? So Nigeria is always nepotizing, lying, corruption, killing, maiming children, women and men that are Christians, burning the churches. Is that not evidence enough? What other evidence does anyone need to know that this is genocide and massacre of Christians? Total extinction. That's what it is. Let's call every spade a spade. It will not cost you anything to tell the truth and stand by it.
Why do we have IDP camps in our indigenous lands? All of you in Nigeria that grew up and found yourself in that contraption, how come there are IDP camps, indigenous displaced camps? How come there are, how come it is in indigenous or internally displaced camps? You now become displaced in your own land. Who displaced you? Who displaced you in your own land?
That is the question. Very pertinent. And let me see. There's a pastor here that will tell you how he grew up as a pastor's child in the north.
I grew up in northern Nigeria. My father was a pastor with the Assemblies of God Church. One morning we just woke up in Assemblies of God Church, Samaru Zaria, somewhere adjacent.
Dear friends, this pastor is not a child, so he knows what he is saying. He knows what he is saying. His experience is the account he is giving here in favor of that claim that Christians are being massacred. Listen to his total account of his experience.
The north gate of Samaru Zaria. My father was a pastor. All of a sudden, we woke up in the morning, no provocation, nothing. And the next thing we were hearing was people were just running all over our house and the church with machetes and all of that. The next thing was they started pouring petrol all over the building, both the church and the house, because our house was attached to the church. And the next thing was flames. Everything was burned right down to ashes. We narrowly escaped, found a place where we could shelter ourselves in the military barracks. Eventually, they brought us back to the lecturers' quarters of ABU Zaria, and we had to camp with a family for weeks and months before we could rebuild and start life all over again. That is long. I'm talking about 1986, 87. What about the Metasine situation? Metasine was a sect of the Islamic religion who went around burning and destroying and killing Christians back in the 80s. This is far before there was anything like farmers and herders clash. Then fast forward. What about in the year 2000, where over 2,000 people were killed in Kaduna? Year 2000. What about the over 300 people that were victims of the Miss World in November 2002? All of them, they were not a part of the Miss World. They were just on their own. Something happened somewhere else and they became victims of it. Lives were killed, houses were destroyed. And whenever they are carrying out this charade, they will be shouting, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And they will carry their matches and carry whatever they have. And they will move in their numbers. They will move in their numbers. And everybody on their way that is not chanting what they are chanting becomes a victim. I can go on and on. A few years ago, I was preaching in Kaduna for a great man of God. And I only succeeded in preaching Sunday morning service. After the service, the next morning, as we were preparing for the next service on Monday, the next thing I was hearing was, the whole city is on fire. Kaduna is on fire. Please stay in the hotel room. Don't come out. They are killing, they are burning churches, they are killing everybody. That is how we were stuck in a hotel. Even in the hotel, we were not sure of ourselves. Because they were going from hotel to hotel, room to room, killing people that were not chanting Allahu Akbar. And somehow, God saved our souls. After about 4 days, we were able to leave Kaduna. But unfortunately, a friend of mine who was a pastor, Reverend Northcote Andrew of blessed memory, was caught in the midst of this as he was escaping for his life. They caught him because he was wearing a collar of a bishop. They hacked him to death, dug the ground, buried him and put a cross there. It is that little wooden cross that made people know that there was a corpse in that place. And this, my friend, was buried. These are real life situations. So for somebody to just sit down in the comfort of his home, maybe somewhere in the south, and be saying there's no such thing in northern Nigeria, my brother, you've not been a part of it. We've been right in the heart of the fire. I remembered one night, these Muslim boys were all over the place in my school, and they were shouting Allahu Akbar. They were looking for me. I had to escape. That night, my saving grace was that I found a female hostel and I slept under the bed. By the next day, I left town. For what? I did nothing. No provocation. Just because I am preaching the gospel. And of course, some of them believe that once you are not of the Islamic faith, you are an infidel. And they believe that if you kill an infidel, you will sleep with 7 virgins. All of this kind of indoctrination that leads to violence at the slightest provocation. Whether it has to do with the people or not, you just get on the streets. What about the Reinhard Bonnke crusade? I'm talking about the Reinhard Bonnke crusade in Kano, where people were hacked, macheted, and killed just because a crusade where the gospel of Christ was going to be preached. And that is why I thank God for people like President Donald Trump, who lent his voice to what is going on here. At least, for whatever is what, there's an ongoing conversation all over the world. The matter is no more put under the carpet. And we don't want just conversations. We want some action. We want some action. And in the midst of all this, it snowballed into the herders and farmers clash. It snowballed into banditry. And everything becomes very complicated. Very complicated. And people are dying by the day. There are people in northern Nigeria, places like Borno State, places like Plateau State, places like Benue State, places like southern Kaduna, where whole villages have been taken over by some of these bandits, by some of these Islamic extremists, by some of these Boko Haram people. They've taken over whole villages, driven the villagers away. And somebody said there is no such thing in Nigeria. Why do we have IDP camps? Why do we have IDP camps? When we never had an earthquake, we never had an earth tremor, why do we have IDP camps when there is no natural disaster? Other than the fact that people are being made victims of what they have no knowledge of. In a secular state like Nigeria, where all religions are permitted to be practiced, this ought not to be allowed. This ought not to be allowed at all. Our government have a duty. Now, when you live in a country like that, where you don't know what becomes of you the next day, you go out, you don't know if you're going to come back. Where you go to church, you're not sure if you're going to come back. When you live in such a country, it's almost as if there's no government. And because the first responsibility of government is security of lives and properties. That's the first responsibility of government. Whether at the federal level, at the state level, or at the local government level. Because the population don't have access to arms. But unfortunately, some of these bandits, some of these terrorists, some of these extremists, they are carrying AK-47s. And you wonder, where did they get them from? In fact, it's unfortunate that at a point in Nigeria, there was even a local government in Borno State where Boko Haram drove all our Nigerian security forces and put their flag there. It's very unfortunate. And the government of Nigeria needs to do something quickly. Otherwise, where this is taking us to, we do not know. This has to come to an end. The ADP camps need to be emptied. Let people go back to their homes. Let people go back to their villages. Let people go back to their farmlands. Let people go back to their habitations so that they can live normal lives. So they can live the life they are supposed to live on earth. You know, this is very, very important. And this conversation is so critical at this time. And it's critical that I add my voice to it as a victim of this situation in a country like Nigeria. And I'm believing God that the day has come when this menace will surely come to an end. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Amen. Abel Damina is my name. Look. I couldn't wait to get back home and be a part of the ongoing conversation. There's been this conversation going on whether there's a genocide in Nigeria or there's no genocide in Nigeria. And I listen to certain individuals who say there's no such thing in Nigeria. Well, whether you call it genocide or you don't call it genocide, let me speak as a victim. I am not just a student of research, but I'm speaking as a victim of these gruesome circumstances around the Nigerian people where innocent lives have been taken away by some people who think they have more right than others in this nation. And some people have reduced it to herders and farmers clash. No, sir, this has been ongoing. I grew up in northern Nigeria. My father was a pastor with the Assemblies of God Church. One morning we just woke up in Assemblies of God Church, Samaru Zaria, somewhere adjacent the north gate of Samaru Zaria. My father was a pastor. All of a sudden we woke up in the morning, no provocation, nothing. And the next thing we were hearing was people were just running all over our house and the church with machetes and all of that. The next thing was they started pouring petrol all over the building, both the church and the house, because our house was attached to the church. And the next thing was flames. Everything was burned right down to ashes. We narrowly escaped, found a place where we could shelter ourselves in the military barracks. Eventually, they brought us back to the lecturers' quarters of ABU Zaria. And we had to camp with a family for weeks and months before we could rebuild and start life all over again. That is long. I'm talking about 1986, 87. What about the Metasine situation? Metasine was a sect of the Islamic religion who went around burning and destroying and killing Christians back in the 80s. This is far before there was anything like farmers and herders clash. Then fast forward. What about in the year 2000, where over 2,000 people were killed in Kaduna? Year 2000. What about the over 300 people that were victims of the Miss World in November 2002? All of them, they were not a part of the Miss World. They were just on their own. Something happened somewhere else and they became victims of it. Lives were killed, houses were destroyed. And whenever they are carrying out this charade, they will be shouting, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And they will carry their matches and carry whatever they have. And they will move in their numbers.
Yes, Biafrans. For those of you who are still around, you have been listening to this very man. Compare it to the denial that Nigeria government have been making towards the genocide of Christians, massacre of innocent citizens of that country. Then you will ask me, if they Islamize Nigeria, what will that religious benefit add to them or to their citizens? Where have you ever seen that Christians have raised up to bring down mosques or kill Muslims? Only happening in Nigeria. We are showing this to amplify the genocide that goes on in Nigeria, the massacre of Christians, and to also let Biafrans know that as all these men and women who are testifying, the first one was the pastor, the second one was the Pope, and the third one is this man. Our information minister disseminates this information for us to know that these people are not giving up. They are coming. Look at them today. Today in Biafra land, they went there massacring people. Let me play it.
happening live. Anom kita na Nkweze Agụ. If you look around you,
we have 30 people watching. Watch carefully. This is this morning. Fulani headsmen in Biafra land between Enugu and Anambra Expressway. People, travelers, and they put this picture here to show you the lies of Nigeria. They will always tell you that it's farmer header clash. Ask me, this one that tied his head with black, and these people say that they're all wearing black. Are they headers as well? So you will see from this video that they are right inside Biafra. They are all over the region. They are there in Biafra land, in Yoruba land, in Benue, in Plateau, in Katsina, in Hausa land. The three regions that made up that nation is where these people are settled. You need to donate to save this situation. Listen to it once more.
See so many people scampering for their lives, for their dear lives. Anom na Nkweze Agụ kita. Ife na-eme kita bụ na ndị Fulani herdsmen, according to ka ndị fụrụ n'anya, mana ebe a ka anyị nọ kita. Na ndị Fulani herdsmen blọkụrụ ụzọ. Anom kita na Nkweze Agụ by express. Enwego ndị egbe tụta. Inaya na mgboga kita onye ọ na-eme mma garu nso. Enwere m ike iru nso. Ị na-anụ kita na agbara ha egbe. Ị na-anụ kita na agba ndị ahụ egbe. Ihe akịta bụ na Nkweze Agụ ka nọ. Na Nkweze Agụ ka anyị nọ kita. Asụnọ ndị Fulani herdsmen blọkụrụ ụzọ. Ndị Fulani herdsmen kita blọkụrụ express by Nkweze Agụ gbadabe enu.
Biafrans, you have seen it. This is what we are talking about. That whenever we are showing you any video, it is just for you to know that something terrible is going on. You need to come and support your freedom. You need to come and donate. You need to come and donate. Yes, Biafrans, you need to come and donate. Definitely donate for your freedom. We all need this very donation. Biafrans, things are happening. We need our freedom. We need our freedom. Please, Biafrans, join us. Today's fundraising will be starting by 7 p.m. Let me send out link. If anyone wants to join, to just talk to Biafrans for a minute or 2 or 3 minutes, depending on the number of minutes you have available, come and talk to Biafrans. Ndị be anyị unu na-afụ ife na-eme. Ada agwazi ochinti na ahịa esugo. Maka na afịa ọsọ gbaba n'ime afịa. Onye na-echi ntị ma onye kpuru isi, ị ga-anụ na ọsọ na-agba isolukunie. And the only way we have to do this is to donate. We need to get as much as we could. Makana this freedom fight with terrorist Nigeria, or the very capital intensive, all require ego. All require ego, ejema and eje. Come and donate. We need this to complete the cycle of our freedom fight, get our nation, and everything will come to an end. But it cannot stop if we do not sponsor it and let anyone who is coming to encroach in our land to know that they have exceeded their boundary. So ndị be anyị nọ n'ụlọ, nekwa na o nwere mgbịrịgba dị ebe a, kpọọ m n'ekwentị a +44 +447706705575. onye nọ n'ụlọ amarọ ka ọ ga-esi wee tụọ ụtụ, ya kpọọ m na that number or WhatsApp is a free call. So Biafrans, asịkwa nọ atụọla ọmalụ ọmalụ, anyị ekwugokwa enough. Anyị ekwugo enough, obviously. We have said enough. Please come and donate. We need your Ejema and Eje. 7 p.m. today. Please, Biafrans, come and donate generously. We need your support. Biafra Republic government in exile. Yes. We need that donation coming from you. We need it. So I will see you people when I see you. The donation time starts 7 p.m. today, 15th of November 2025. That is our mega fundraising. Una fugo ife niile Fulani na-eme mkpamkpa fa na-akpa. Una fugo this video ngosili una ebe nke mee n'ụtụtụ tata bụ Saturday between Anambra and Enugu. And na fa agbagbugo ndị ụfọdụ kpụrụ ndị fa kpụrụ. Ndị a fa kpụrụ ka ife fajife eme, fajife anata ego. Ofu ego a anyị na-agwa unu. Maka na terrorism bụ investment in Nigeria government. So Nigeria government is looking for money using the terrorists. Mana anyị nwa dey use force. Anyị ji nwayọọ ayọ si onye ọbụla bịa donate, no matter how bad. Maka na Biafra n'ụlọ na ọma bịa ọbịagokwa abịa o. And ọ bụrụ na Biafra bịa kịta, my people, e wee sị gị ka ekwana ego na contribute, ka your receipt ị na-asa n'aka. Maka etu ọ esi ekwu na ọ dịcha unu ka ọ na Biafra ma bịa, but unu na-anya ife na-eme na una ma na Biafra bịago. Let me show you this man, because mụnwa na-believe na na-ekwu anything ma ọ na-eme anything ka m weta evidence wee gosi unu ife na-ekwu. So I will show you this man's video now. At least all the very convincing from ife the man na-ekwu. Una malụ na the man mean business na ife ọ na-ekwu bụ eziokwu. And onwere onye ga-ajụ sị, oh, this man ọ ga-emenwu ụdị ife a? Of course he will do it. And all the serious. Look at it.
And about freedom for Biafra and about the end to the prosecution of Christians in Nigeria. I was yesterday at a conference in the Austrian parliament led by our Austrian parliamentarian Gudrun Kugler. She is a very strong advocate for the end of the prosecution of Christians, and I hope she will be appointed the EU Special Envoy and it will strike tear in the hearts of the Nigerian genocidal regime, which is killing Christians by the day. By the day. Yesterday also the Hungarian state minister against the prosecution of Christians, Mr. Tristan Abazai, he was here in Vienna and I had the honor to talk to him, and he shared terrible facts about the atrocities committed by the Islamists against the Christians in Nigeria. And of course, you know, they are stopping short to call for the independence for Biafra, which I do endorse that. But definitely he is very positive, and I ask him how we can stop this atrocity by freezing all EU funding, freezing all EU trade with Nigeria, and of course boycotting Nigerian products, and basically freezing the relationship with Nigeria as a genocidal state against Christians, because it's one of the worst situations in the world, similar to Syria and North Korea, where Christians are prosecuted by our enemy regimes, by the hostiles. It's always the hostiles. They take the Christians as hostage, and they torture them and they kill them and massacre them. And Nigeria, in my view, is a clear candidate for ex-Nigeria, and this should be our policy. But first of all, we have to cut EU funding, we have to cut EU trade, boycott Nigeria. It's a hostile state, it's a Russian-Chinese ally, it's a BRICS member or candidate, and definitely it should pay the price for the atrocities against Christians. And this was very good. Thanks a lot, everybody, for sharing this events tweets I sent yesterday, and also this video. And please do everything you can to work towards ex-Nigeria and freedom for Biafra and the end of Christian persecution everywhere, especially, obviously, it's our enemy states who take their Christian population as hostage and torture them in Syria, North Korea, and in Nigeria. And this must end. This must end absolutely, and I will continue to campaign on this issue. Thanks a lot for your support, and being sure next week on the Wednesday is Red Wednesday, the global day against persecution of Christians, and it's absolutely important that the UN makes that a global UN awareness day, the Red Wednesday, and please stop the persecution of our brothers and sisters in Nigeria and promote ex-Nigeria and independence of Biafra.
Onye a bụ chairman ndị NATO na Europe. O kwugo here na nya emitigo somebody na the parliament, another parliamentarian, bụkwa president in his or her own country. And ya gwalụfa kafa court or trades. Gịnị kafa na-trade na Nigeria? Onwe ife Nigeria na-eme export mmanụ anyị na our oil. O ifefa na-trade Europe. So onye ga-asị na ya marọ na Biafra abịago, onye anwa na-egwu egwuregwu. Inidili ịbịa donate ọ bụrụgodu 1 naira. At least ijide receipt. Maka na Biafra abịagokwa o. Onye agbanazikwa n'ọsọ. Try ya wete the link. Ọ bụ na iji ejemma na eba www.biafrarepublicgovernment, all in small letters, and government anwa ị get spell ya in full. Ọ bụrụkwa gov or GOVERNMENT, government.org. Ije na this website. Ị batara na this website. Ị click here, full donation. Ị donate. So my people, I am Ogaba for how many hours? 3 hours 40 minutes. Ka I call ozianye a day. Maka na ndị nọ n'ụlọ na ada complain every time maka data, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. So my people, I gonna consider n'ife niile anyị na-eme. I gonna consider for ọfụma. So ka anyị fụzianụ na mgbede na our fundraising. All hail Biafra, peace, progress, unity, and equity. Biafrans, onye alarụkwa n'ụla. onye ndị ilo gbalgbugbu unu afụgo na ife a bụ n'Enugu Anambra ka ndị a nọ n'ụtụtụ a fa gbagokwa anyị okirikiri. The only thing ga-azọpụta anyị n'aka ndị a maka na gọọmenti na sponsor fa, the only thing is our ejema and eje ka ọ dịla onye ọbụla mma. All hail Biafra. Bye from me and God bless you all.